Once upon a time, I was waking up at the usual ass crack of dawn, and as per usual, I checked my phone and opened Discord because I'm a morbidly obese freak. However, today was different. I received a ping in the Random Dice Discord server. I didn't think much of it. Probably a new update or some main. Holy shit, a new game is dropping. Welcome to Random Dice Go. Or more like my analysis on it. I know there is already analysis videos on this game, already since people beat me to it, because I don't have all the free time in the world. But still, it's good to get multiple views on something to generate better ideas based off of multiple people's viewings. With that said, I will base my analysis based on the trailer, the App Store pictures, and even the Random Dice Go Discord server, which does exist. Just as a very important note, this is just assumptions and ideas for what the game could potentially be like. As of now, it will come out in 3 weeks, or specifically January 26th. So since I am just speculating, take what I say with a grain of salt, as it's most likely not going to be the same when the game's actually out. Anyways, I'd first like to analyze what the gameplay is going to be like. From the trailer, it seems the dice are attacking each other. Well, the Go aspect is actually more based off the real game Go. I'm not going to go into the whole history and how to play right now because I'm still studying it. And yeah, it's like many, many years old. So yeah, go check it out, learn how to play. It might help in the future of this game. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I know I'm going to study it at least. More on the Go aspect, it seems like people place their dice on the board and they all have different shooting patterns and abilities that buff and help shoot the opponent's dice and defeat them. Mixing this with Go can make some unique gameplay. There's also someone mixes aspects from both random dice defense and wars. It keeps the dice fighting aspect, well, as it's seen in wars with different health bars and dice versus dice, while sticking with the board-based gameplay that random dice defense has. This game also seems to heavily rely on strategy. This is somewhat shown in the trailer of dice shooting around randomly, so maybe putting dice in certain positions allow them to not get hit while hitting all of your enemy dice. Also, don't ask how the hearts work, because I cannot decide on how that's going to work yet. I do not know how it works. The trailer does not show much, so I'm just guessing. Now let's move on to the dice, as there's some new and old presented in this game, currently based off of pictures from the App Store and trailer. We can confirm some of the returning dice, those being fire, wind, shield, electric, iron, light, 7-pip gun slash sniper, healing, mighty wind, death, teleport, modified electric, berserker, time, solar, lunar, hell, and holy sword respectively. Also, there are some dice returning from Random Dice Wars, those being meteor and explode. It's nice to see them bring back dice from both games. Now onto the new dice. What I'm going to do is look at the dice and try to think of its function based off its design and name. And yes, you can see the names as in the trailer again. Again, take this with a grain of salt, as it's most likely not going to be true. These are just predictions. If you have your own ideas what you think these dice will do, leave it in the comments. Anyways, on to the first new dice. First off is water dice. I feel like it's going to be simple, or similar to wave dice, by making it have a splash attack of some sorts. Maybe more than fire does. It's a common dice, so it's probably not that complex. Next is sword dice. I feel like this dice might actually introduce melee capabilities to the board, maybe only attacking enemy dice that are adjacent. Very simple, but I mean, that's all I could come up with for a sword. Next up on our list is invincible dice. I feel like those have a passive buff to make nearby dice invincible for a tiny bit. Yeah, it's kind of self-described. Same as this next dice, which is going to be barrier dice, as this literally describes itself. It gives other dice barrier. You can see it on the trailer. Moving on. Up next is bind dice. This can work in so many different ways since bind is such a bland term. Or not bland, broad term. I cannot speak right now. Maybe it binds two dice together and they could boost each other. Or maybe they bind the enemy dice like lock dice does. Well, who knows. Next is rebirth dice. Based off the word rebirth, I'm just gonna guess this responds to dice that die. Actually pretty useful. Next up is vampire dice. Probably heals itself after dealing damage. Simple, effective, pretty basic. And now up is going to be our legendary dice, which will definitely be more complex, so I shall think bigger. First up being justice dice. A cool idea I came up with is that it punishes enemy dice that kill your own dice, sending them to justice. Or in other terms, just killing them. Next up is the balance dice. In the trailer, you can see balance dice letting out some sort of evil smog. So honestly, I think this could be an offensive or debuff dice depending on the situation, which will be cool swing on a dice that changes its usage greatly while being the same dice, hence the balance being half offense, half evil smog debuff. And that hence goes with the name balance. Next is level up dice. I don't know what to think other than bootleg combo dice. But maybe there's a level up feature and this dice may level up infinitively? I stuttered. Or something. I don't know. This one is so broad I couldn't really come up with an idea without the full game being out. Next up, Holy Arrow dice. Basically seems like Holy Sword will have a melee attack or close range attack of some sorts, and I'm guessing this is just a ranged alternative. Next up is Soul dice. This one I only have a simple idea for, being getting stronger after every kill. He eats dice's souls or something. The next 4 legendary dice are very unique. Remember when I said I'd gather some info off Discord? Well, I'm introducing the 4 Gods dice. These 4 legendary dice are very cool designed as they all represent different animals. Another difference is that we actually know what they do, because they confirmed it, which is nice. First up is the White Tiger dice. It seems to manually teleport itself to enemy dice and maybe deal critical damage or give them a debuff to give them critical damage. I really also like the design of the dice. In fact, I really like all of the 4 God dice designs. Next is the Vermilion Bird dice, representing close to a phoenix in design and also function. It supposedly when killed turns into an egg and revives into a more powerful, faster, and stronger firebird of some sorts. Honestly, super excited. Phoenixes are awesome, and I get to bear witness to this thing. It's gonna be very destructively powerful. I just feel it. The third of the 4 God dice is the Azir Dragon dice. Though all previous legendary dice were dragons too, this one looks different and is definitely giving off some Dragon Ball vibes. This dragon shoots a powerful laser beam to enemies while also healing allies. Seems like a well-rounded dice, but we shall see. Finally, last but not least, is the Black Tortoise dice. While my first guess on what this dice's animal was definitely not a tortoise, it is still cool nonetheless. This dice attracts the attention of all enemies and gains a shield in its strength based on the number of enemies. Seems like a very useful defensive dice. Now that all the content is analyzed pretty much that I could do that hasn't been said by probably other people, I like to brainstorm what could possibly be added in the future updates to this game. Obviously, I don't know 100% what's in this game already, but I'm basing it off what we got here. To start, I like to see more returning dice, maybe the more popular ones, especially from more Wars, since Wars only has 2 dice returning. This is the most definite to come out, but I'd like to see dice like Star, Scope, Nightmare, and even somehow get more Wars designed dice to work on a board. Things like Gravity or Berserk, which would be really cool, and I'd love to see how old classic dice work in new aspects, especially using the Go game. Next, I'd like to see bosses make their way into this game too. I have no idea how it would work, but hey, they made it into Defense and Wars, there could be a chance, right? Can't wait for Castle Knight to mess up my boards. Again. Next thing I would like to see involves the skins tab teased on the trailer video. What I'm guessing they mean by skins is probably like Battlefield skins or something, but I'd love if they included skins for dice. Obviously, has never happened before in the previous 2 games, so I doubt it would happen in this one, but it would be funny to give your dice cool little hats or even go far enough to redesign them. Plus, they can act as rewards and events people will want to participate in to unlock these said skins. Finally, add Joker and Growth. I know we stated old dice before, but these 2 are the holy duo. I don't know how pips really work in this game, so I'm going to take a safe bet and that say it's merging, but no Joker? Come on, man. How am I supposed to get 30 Jokers at once that are all the wrong pips now? Now with that out of the way, that concludes this video. I'm very excited when this game comes out, and I still need to learn how to play Go, if that will matter. But all that aside, a bit of a shameless plug, but I'm doing a first play reaction stream on my Twitch channel the Saturday after the game releases, assuming that the game releases still on January 26th. Link down in the description for my Twitch channel. And also, as always, join the Discord, which will also be in the description of this video. It has also a chat for random dice, so we could discuss the game there and make assumptions or whatnot, and when it comes out, we could play in there too. With all that said, thanks for watching, like and sub, and have a good rest of your day.